In talks between Russia and Ukraine, most Treasury yields retreated while a key segment of the curve inverted for the first time since 2019. Key takeaway, S&P up for a fourth day, advancing 56 points, closing close to session highs, up 1.2%. The Dow up 338, up by 1%. NASDAQ up 264 for the NASDAQ Composite Index, up by 1.8%. 10-year yield 2.39%, two-year yield 2.36%. Spot gold down 0.2%, 19.19 the ounce. West Texas Intermediate crude oil down 1%, 104.94 a barrel. Recapping a rally underway on Wall Street today with the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ moving higher. S&P up for a fourth day, up by 1.2%. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. So private equity continuing to put money to work. That includes another funding round for Brightline, a provider of virtual behavioral health services to kids and their families. Now with a valuation of more than $700 million after raising more than $100 million from investors led by KKR. Luckily for us, we've got the head of that company. Bloomberg's Julian Tam, by the way, wrote this story and hooked us up.
Yeah, Naomi Allen is the co-founder and CEO of Brightline. She joins us on the phone from Palo Alto, California. Naomi, how are you?
Great, Tim. Thank you for having me.
I got to say, when I was doing research about this, I thought of something that I saw the other night, which was I was looking at Nextdoor, which is a social network for neighborhoods, and I saw a post from a parent that said, "I apologize for using this forum, but I need a therapist for my child." And the parents at school, or the teachers at school, say that because of his misbehavior, he needs to see someone. Does anyone have any suggestions? And I started reading this story, Naomi, and thought to myself, this is exactly the type of product that this parent could benefit from. How did you end up founding Brightline?
Well, honestly, I was that parent. Tim, I have 3 kids. My oldest son had rural behavioral health needs a number of years ago, and my family and I started looking for care that was covered by our insurance, that was available to us, and we found nothing that didn't have a 6-month wait list. It was all cash pay. We actually didn't even really know where to start. We didn't know if he needed a therapist or a psychiatrist or occupational therapist. And so I think as a country, we're at this critical mental health inflection point where we just need a radical change. And certainly COVID, I think, has drawn out even a greater need for that change.
So tell us how the platform works.
Yeah, thanks, Carol. We provide a national solution for families that's an in-network benefit. That means it's covered by insurance companies. And we offer it through employers so they can provide it to their employees and the children of those employees. There are 3 levels of care. So basically, we meet families where they are. Some families may just need a bit of self-guided content or digital exercises or recommendations for how to support their child. Some families need things that are more skill building. So for example, a family that maybe has a child that doesn't have a clinical level of anxiety, but is anxious about taking their masks off at school, or a child that doesn't have depression but is struggling with maintaining a proper sleep schedule. Those things can become full-on clinical anxiety or depression if left unsupported. And so for those things that are lower in terms of the clinical scale, we provide coaching, which is real skill building for children, adolescents, teens, and parents and caregivers. And then for things that are truly in need of a clinical service or a diagnosis, we have a full care team of therapists, psychiatrists, speech language pathologists, and they work through evidence-based and measured clinical protocols.
And forgive me, Naomi, I know the company is based in Palo Alto. You're joining us from Washington, D.C. Just wanted to clarify that. What about when it comes to insurance and paying for this and how it compares to comparable services that are perhaps more traditional in the sense of in-person?
Absolutely. Well, I think first I'll say, if you are seeking in the United States, you're 10 times likelier to have to go out of network for those services than primary care. It would be in such a status quo in the country where that we just didn't have pediatricians covered by insurance. It's kind of wild to imagine that, but that is the world that we've been in. And so Brightline is the first national provider that has network relationships with local insurance companies and local Blue plans, as well as national insurance companies. And so a family that goes to Brightline through their employer would have In some cases, for some services, no out-of-pocket cost at all. In some cases, they would just be paying a deductible or a copay for the services. So it's a radically different affordability level for families.
What's been the ramp up on the platform in terms of usage? Give us an idea in terms of individuals joining the platform, usage of it. Love to know about your growth metrics.
Absolutely. So the company is just over 2 years old. Last year was our first year offering our product through employers, and we saw about a 4 times increase in terms of employer demand. So in our first couple of months of offering Brightline, we signed up 50 employers. We also, interestingly, over the past year and a half, started talking with Brightline was affordable to families. And we thought we would sign up 1 or 2 small insurance plans. We've now signed up 5, and we're working on 5 more. So today we cover about 24 million lives through those insurance contracts and expect to be doubling that by the end of the year.
Hey, Naomi, we only have about 40 seconds left with you, but I want to make sure I understand this. Can people whose employers do not sign up for it still access Brightline services?
They can. We also have a direct-to-consumer offering, which is covered by some insurance products, but most of our members are accessing us through their employer. And if you're an employee or a benefits executive or an executive, and you want to learn more, you can visit brightline.com.
Well, great to check in with you. Please stay in touch. We'd love to know more as the platform grows and usage grows, and love to hear more about it.
Yeah, Naomi Allen, co-founder and CEO of Brightline, joining us on the phone from Washington, D.C. It also makes me think of employee retention, right? And, this is another added bonus for companies to give to their employees to attract and retain them.
Well, and I think about the pandemic, how much we've talked about not only physical wellness, but mental well-being, and hoping that this continues the conversation and really usage for so many individuals who need it. This is Bloomberg.
Don't miss Sound On with Joe Matthews today at 5 p.m. Wall Street time on Bloomberg Radio. Joe is joined by Republican Congressman Brian Stile of Wisconsin. That's Sound On today at 5 on Bloomberg Radio.
Breaking news first. War in Ukraine.
Ukraine is looking for a ceasefire agreement in talks with Russian negotiators. A Putin-Zelensky meeting is possible and may happen with foreign ministers.
The Russians saying we need to pull back some of the deployments in order to have mutual trust.
The president says he's not planning regime change in Russia, but has the right to express his opinion. For the latest headlines and the effect on the markets, stay with Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
President of the Jewish Communal Fund, Zoya Raines, and her husband Robert Friedman, Jewish activists and philanthropists, talk about why they chose the Jewish Communal Fund for their charitable giving.
As very busy working parents, we wanted to focus more on the charity part of it and wanted to focus more on our children and less on the administration.
The Jewish Communal Fund is one of the oldest and largest donor-advised funds, but at the same time, they're totally up-to-date and have state-of-the-art systems for us to access and manage our contributions online. The assets in our fund at the JCF grow tax-free, so we can generate more charitable dollars to support the charities that we care about most.
Let JCF minimize your taxes and maximize your charitable giving.
We're incredibly passionate about our charity, and the JCF allows us to focus more on the charity and less on the administration and the headaches.
For more information about Jewish Communal Fund, visit our website at jcfny.org and request a new fund kit.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com, that's ANGI.com, to get started.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. For your free quote, call 1-800-272-1955. That's 1-800-272-1955. Or go to selectquote.com. That's 1-800-272-1955. Select Quote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercial. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states. Where are those? Tax day is nearly here. And Chanel is stressing. Why do I always wait to the last minute? Her small business needs a bookkeeper to crunch some big numbers. All these spreadsheets make my head spin. None of this adds up. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hayden & Regal is one of the largest independently owned global investment management firms with more than $118 billion in assets under management. We offer an array of tailored investment strategies, including equity, fixed income, and balanced portfolios, as well as domestic and offshore mutual funds. Independent since 1983, Hayden & Regal is committed to providing customized investment management solutions focused on achieving our clients' financial objectives. Learn more at Payden.com.
It's 4:29 on Wall Street. Time for Drive Time Traffic. We do it every 15 minutes right here on Bloomberg Radio. Ed Kalegi, the Cross County Parkway. What's going on?
Tim, there's an accident westbound Cross County coming in by exit 8 in Mount Vernon. That is Columbus Avenue. It's over in the right shoulder, this crash, and traffic is slow for about an extra 15 minutes getting through that area, and then slow in towards the Sawmill as well. Now in Manhattan, you've got a very heavy ride, both sides of town, all the way in up to the bridge. Either side provides an advantage. Westbound Belt Parkway, still a crash at Bay Parkway, delays there from Knapp Street. An accident long since cleared on the northbound Cross Bronx at Webster Avenue. That's why it's a slow ride still, though, coming into New York via the George Washington Bridge. Mix in a broken down car in the center lane on the upper level. Lincoln Tunnel, 15 minutes out, 5 minutes in. Holland Tunnel, 20 out. Looks like about 5 to 10 in from both approaches. Traveling in New Jersey, 3 right lanes closed. Emergency construction. 280 eastbound by exit 9 in West Orange. Traffic is a mess through the area. A 40-minute delay. Bloomberg 11:30, 3-day weather. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 30. Wednesday, a chance of afternoon rain and snow showers, high 45. Thursday, a chance of afternoon showers, high almost 70. And Friday, partly sunny, highs around 60. Right now, partly sunny in New York, 36 degrees with the best ride. In and out of the city, I'm Ed Kalegi, Bloomberg 11:30. Bloomberg Business Week continues.
Broadcasting live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio in New York. Bloomberg 1130 to Washington, D.C. Bloomberg 99.1 to Boston. Bloomberg 106.1 to San Francisco. Bloomberg 960 to the country. Sirius XM Channel 119 and around the globe. The Bloomberg Business app and BloombergRadio.com. This is Bloomberg Business Week.
Investors loving Lululemon.
Oh, I haven't even checked lately.
Up 8% in the after
Are
hours.
you going to get the shoes?
I don't know about that. But I do love their, full disclosure, love their yoga pants.
People love Lululemon stuff. I bought a couple of men's stuff there a couple years ago.
I buy a lot of stuff on sale too, though.
Shirts.
It's
expensive.
I know, but it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Once I figured out the sheer yoga pants problem. All right, moving along. We're going to get to our Prudom Goyles, who's going to break down the quarter for us and the outlook in just a moment. Let's get back to Charlie Pellet. You run around in yoga pants all the time, don't you?
Oh, yeah, only those sheer ones, of course, around the office, too.
Wait a minute.
All right, here's what's going on. We've got the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ all higher today. Lululemon, by the way, after hours, as you guys mentioned, rallying now by 8%. We'll have more on that story coming up for in just a moment. The other big story, Micron Technology after hours. MU up now by 6.5%. It is the largest American maker of memory chips, out with an upbeat forecast for the current quarter, a sign that demand remains strong from rapidly expanding data center customers. The Dow up today by 338, up by 1%. Stocks did close to session highs today. S&P up 56, up 1.2%. NASDAQ up 264, a gain there of 1.8%. 10-year yield 2.39%, 2-year yield 2.36%. Stocks higher in a broad-based rally on optimism for progress in talks between Russia and Ukraine. Luca Paolini is chief strategist at Pictet Asset Management. And right here on Bloomberg Surveillance, he talked about the reasons for the rally.
And I think, markets were significantly oversold for a number of reasons. Of course, the situation, the war in Ukraine, the Federal Reserve, weaker data, and now everything seems to be not as bad as we thought it was. And so I think there is this kind of sort of relief rally.
Today we had gold dropping by 0.7%, actually down 0.2%, 19.19 the ounce. It was crude oil, West Texas Intermediate, down 0.6%, 105.28 a barrel on WTI. Chewy after earnings plunging after ours, right now down by 14.8%. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is your Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, Charlie Pellet, thank you so much. We mentioned Lululemon out with their earnings, and the stock is up about 7.5%. in the after hours. So Jim, let's just get right to it.
Poonam Goyal, senior analyst for e-commerce at Leisure Off-Price Retail. She's with Bloomberg Intelligence. Poonam, a strong quarter for Lulu. You've had some time to go through the release, dig into the numbers. What sticks out to you? Because investors are certainly happy.
And it looks like a strong outlook, too.
It's good all across the board. The quarter was good. The guidance was good. The inventories are good. So all across the board, we're seeing strong momentum. Digital sales were better than expected, which is nice to see. Consumers are coming back to stores, but store sales were also healthy, up double digits.
Didn't hurt too, right, that they authorized $1 billion stock buyback program. We see companies continuing to put money to work that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Companies are buying back their stock. We've seen the markets over the course of the year, and they continue to show confidence in their businesses by giving back to the shareholders through buybacks or dividends.
So help me out here, Poonam, because I saw it back in January. The CEO issued a profit warning saying the Omicron variant had limited operations. So I'm